When you first deploy Hermes, you start with a default setup. And that default setup is about as secure as running everything on the main branch with no review. Working like that is pretty risky. By default, the agent inherits your credentials from its environment, it can call any internet endpoint, it can read the host file system, and there's no audit trail. No record of what it did, when, or why. For a personal project, that might be fine, but if you're running this against production infrastructure, well, that's a different conversation entirely. So instead, we're going to walk through 6 concrete hardening steps from runtime containment to credential isolation so you can deploy Hermes Agent without losing sleep over it. AI agents write code. They can also execute it, and most teams are running that code inside containers, which offer an isolation model that was never designed for untrusted workloads. Before we get into what we have to do, let's define what we're aiming for. So a secure AI agent needs 5 things. So first, it needs its own identity. The agent should act as itself, not as you. If something goes wrong, you need to know the agent did it, not some mysterious process running under your user account. Secondly, you need least privilege with the default deny posture. The agent gets access to exactly what it needs and nothing else. Third, you need credential scoping. Secrets should be narrow, short-lived, and revocable. Ideally, and we'll come back to this, the agent shouldn't hold credentials at all. Fourth, runtime containment. The agent process should be isolated from the host. Running as root on bare metal is not an option. And fifth, audit. You need detailed logs of every command, every API call, every network request, and which model was used. These are the 5 goals, so now let's build towards them. The first thing you need to do before anything else is make sure the agent doesn't run directly on the host. By default, people spin up Hermes and it inherits whatever user context is available, so you should at least run it in a container as an unprivileged user. Drop all Linux capabilities, disable privilege escalation, and that gets you a basic level of isolation. But for production workloads, where the agent is connected to real infrastructure, you want even stronger isolation, and that's where microVMs come in. A microVM strips a VM down to its essentials, it boots quickly, but it provides a hardware level boundary between the agent and the host. If the agent gets compromised inside the microVM, the blast radius ends at the VM boundary, and the host will stay clean. So for agentic workflows, microVMs win. There is also a video available in the description that actually walks through the difference between VMs, microVMs, and containers. Now, one of the worst case scenarios for an AI agent is data exfiltration. Somebody prompt injects it and it sends your data to an attacker controlled endpoint. And the fix here is actually straightforward. The agent should only be able to reach destinations on an explicit allow list. Everything else should get refused at the network layer. And here's how you do it. For Hermes, you point it to a proxy, set it via an environment variable, and then block direct egress from the agent's network with firewall rules. So now when a prompt injection attempt tries to call some random endpoint, it doesn't just fail at the application layer, it actually fails at the network one as well. The packets will never leave, and that attempt shows up in your proxy logs. And this is exactly step 2, and honestly, if you only implement 2 things, make it runtime containment and egress control, because these 2 alone eliminate the biggest attack surface. So step 3, give your agent its own identity, and here's where most people get burned. They give the agent their own kubeconfig, the one that has cluster admin permissions, and now the agent can actually delete production namespaces. Instead, what you need to do is create a dedicated identity for the agent. In Kubernetes, that means a service account with role-based access control that's scoped to exactly what the agent needs. Can it read pods in one namespace? Great, that's the only permission it gets, not cluster-wide, not write access, just what it actually needs. And you apply the same principle everywhere the agent touches. Version control, cloud accounts, monitoring systems, each one gets a scoped identity and not yours. And now the agent acts as itself, every action is attributable, and if something goes sideways, you know exactly who did what. Step 4 is keeping credentials short-lived, so long-lived static credentials are a problem even without AI. With an autonomous agent that's always running, well, the risk multiplies. Scoping and short lifetimes reduce the blast radius, but here's the thing, they don't actually eliminate it. The credential still lives in the agent's environment. If someone compromises the agent, they can still read it. True credential isolation, where the agent never sees a usable secret, requires a boundary between the agent and the credential, and that's genuinely hard to build by hand, and we'll come back to this because it's one of the things manual hardening cannot fully solve. So what you need to do is use short-lived tokens wherever possible, service account tokens that rotate, cloud credentials with short expiry windows, and never bake long-lived secrets into the agent's environment. Step 5 is building an audit trail, so when something goes wrong, and with autonomous agents something eventually will, you need to answer one question: who did what and when? And you need to answer that from your logs and not from the agent's memory. The agent cannot be trusted to report on itself. So here's what you need to actually capture. So proxy access logs, so every outbound request the agent makes. Kubernetes API server audit logs, every API call in Kubernetes. Cloud provider audit trails, so CloudTrail if you are on AWS. And then you need to centralize all of it. This audit trail is the difference between I think the agent did something weird and at 2 p.m. for example, the agent called this endpoint with these parameters and here's the response it got. Step 6 is capping the blast radius of always on, so Hermes runs continuously and that's its power, but at the same time that's its risk. This means the window of exposure is always open, so you have to cap it, and you can do that in 3 ways. So the first thing you can do is set a spending cap on the model provider API key. If the agent goes rogue, it cannot run up a massive bill. Secondly, if you're using a container, set resource limits, memory and CPU caps. Third, configure Hermes autonomy settings, so start with suggestions only mode, let the agent propose actions, and only after you've built trust over days or weeks you let it act autonomously. So these are the 6 steps: runtime containment, egress control, agent identity, short-lived credentials, audit trail, blast radius caps. If you implement all 6, your Hermes agent is dramatically safer than the default deployment, but here's where I need to actually be honest with you. There are 2 big problems the 6 steps don't fully address. So problem number 1 is the agent actually still holds readable secrets, even short-lived tokens, even scoped credentials, they're still in the environment. The compromised agent can still read them, and in the window before they expire they're actually usable. And true credential isolation actually requires a platform level boundary, something that applies credentials at the network edge so they never exist in the agent's runtime at all. And that's very hard to handle, as I mentioned before. Problem number 2, your guardrails are actually spread across 5 different places. You have firewall rules here, Kubernetes role-based access control there, proxy config somewhere else. There's no single pane of glass that shows you what the agent can actually do and what it's actually doing right now. So this is where Lens Agents comes in. It's an agentic AI governance platform. You install it via Helm and it runs Hermes fully sandboxed with governance out of the box. Every agent gets its own identity and token. Networking is default denied at the kernel level with a policy control proxy, including per domain HTTP method and path restrictions. Credentials are applied at the platform boundary and never reach the agent's environment, and every tool call, shell command, network request, and model invocation is queryable in one place and exportable to your CM, and you can even set spending limits per organization, per team, or per agent. If you're running Hermes in production or any autonomous agent really, this is the difference between I've patched together something that's probably okay and I have governance I can prove to my security team. So by default, deploying an AI agent is like working on the main branch. It works until it doesn't, and when it doesn't, the damage is already done. The 6 steps, runtime containment, egress control, identity, short-lived credentials, audit, and blast radius caps, they get you most of the way there. For everything else, a governance platform like Lens Agents closes the remaining gaps, especially true credential isolation, which is the hardest piece to build yourself. If you found this video useful, please like it and subscribe for more AI and DevOps content, and I'll see you in the next one.